Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. If you have been guided to this particular reading, I'm taking a look at your love connections, of course, but focusing more so on you. What is your current energy? What is your vibe right now? So I'll be taking a look at people who don't benefit from being in your life, people to possibly sever ties with, karmic connections. We'll take a look at that. And then I'll take a look at people who might actually be a really good potential love match for you. Or if you're already focused on a particular someone, we'll take a look and see what category they might fall into. These are the two tarot decks that I'll be clarifying these messages with. So all of these decks are self-created by myself, and the links to them will be down below. General advice as always, guys, so only take the parts of it that make sense for you personally and release the rest. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some messages. All right, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Let's get into some messages here. So the very first part will be focusing on people that you're probably better off severing ties with, you know. These are individuals that no longer serve a purpose in your life. So let's take a look at that energy. Let's see. For water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And I'm going to be pulling 4 cards. You don't have to resonate with each and every one. All right, so the very first one, we have the slob. A couch potato, sloppy, watches TV all day, very lazy, wastes time, messy home, messy life, ignores responsibilities, doesn't show up for you in a relationship. So if they're messy as far as, for example, their home and how they conduct themselves within their own walls, you know, and they're just not on top of it, right? So if they're not on top of that, then this is letting us know that they're not on top of things going on in their life either. All right, what else for water signs? People that you need to let go of. We have a chain smoker. So it says smokers cough, cigarette breath, their home smells like a dirty ashtray, constantly blows smoke up your rear to win you over, fake compliments, a poser. Wow, okay, that's interesting. So not only do they have a messy home, but, you know, it does say their home smells like a dirty ashtray. That's so interesting. All right, let's see what else. So they could smoke a lot, you know. And the fake compliments, that could be something that you relate to. We do have wild cat. So it says hisses at you when they don't get their way, spoiled, capricious, impulsive, frequent temper tantrums. You guys might actually find that, you know, you have some very challenging conversations with this person. It kind of reminds me of, you know, like a little kid that doesn't get their way. Like a brat, right? And they can be very difficult to deal with. Bottom of the deck here, we have the loser. All right, boastful, must-win attitude, arrogantly domineering, looks down on others, controlling partner, a string of lost connections due to self-destructive ways. All right, so that could be describing somebody that you've already been with, and maybe at this point, you've already walked away, you've already closed the door on that relationship. So let's go ahead and clarify and see what it is that we need to know when it comes to this person. Actually, let me set these guys aside so I can refer to them. All right, let's grab some tarot messages for water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have the 5 of Pentacles, okay? So I feel that if you were the person that ended up breaking things off with this person, they didn't like it. You know, they're struggling over that decision. And, you know, you might be listening to this and knowing exactly who this is coming through in this reading and just telling yourself, it's like, too bad, you know, you didn't treat me right. You took me for granted, you know, so left out in the cold. So more than likely, if you relate to this, you've already done the work. You've already cut them out. All right, this is interesting. We've got the Judgment card. I feel that you've worked really hard on yourself since this person has left your life if you relate to this. So maybe right now you're going through some major changes in your life, but what I can tell you is this person that's coming through in this reading, for this portion anyway, they are struggling through the fact that you decided to break things off, or maybe you guys decided mutually to break things off, but they're not liking it. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. So they might reach back out to you. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea, you know? So yeah, it's telling us right here that this is a situation that will return, that will come back around, but you need to be able to focus on whether or not it's a good idea to accept them back. That's just what I'm getting there. The Knight of Wands, action-oriented, adventurous, fearless. So this person, I feel the vibe that I'm getting is they're good looking, they're attractive, and they know it. And they don't have a problem attracting people. But the issue here is if they're wanting a relationship with you, but they also want their cake and eat it too, you know, they want to be able to play while they're supposedly committed in a relationship with you, then that's an issue. That is a problem. And more than likely, if you relate to this portion of the reading, you've done something about it and you probably broke things off, you know, because hopefully you love yourself enough to not allow anybody to treat you that way. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Ace of Wands. So I actually really like how this is coming through, because after one situation ends, more than likely, maybe this is, again, something that you decided for yourself, which I hope you have. And this is now offering you a clean slate. It's offering you a new beginning in love, in life, right? And this was not going to happen unless you took action to make that happen. So if you haven't already, this is the time to take that step. All right, so that's what I'm getting with that set of cards, focusing on perhaps karmic connections, people that need to go. All right, so now let's focus on people who are actually a good match for you. If you happen to be single and if you're not really thinking of anybody, this could also bring forward people that you might meet that you find to be very compatible and you're attracted to them and it's mutual. Oh, I love this. Okay, so we've got the Baby. This love connection is in its infant stages, meaning it's completely brand new. If you have yet to meet this person, you know, I feel a new chapter coming in for you. And it says it needs more time to develop, but it has all the qualities of a relationship that can grow into something beautiful as the years unfold. It simply needs to be nurtured, cherished, and fed with all the ingredients that true love needs. And that main ingredient is you. I love that. All right, let's grab some more. For water signs. So new love on the horizon. We also have the Pearl. Okay, so this card says, gained wisdom and learned lessons. I love it. Learned lessons from past loves. An old soul that's ready to offer a love so pure, true, and long-lasting. This romance will bring peace and serenity into your life. A trustworthy partner who is loyal and is a person of integrity. This is exactly what you deserve, what you need. Because I just feel that you might have experienced infidelity, third-party situations possibly. So this is a whole different experience that wants to come in for you. All right, let's see what else. For water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Look at this. We have the Pisces card coming through. So Pisces, this is a specific message for you, but it can also apply to Cancer and Scorpio, especially if the person that you end up connecting with is a Pisces. I'll read that in a second. All right. And then we have the Angel. So this says meeting this special soul will bless your life beyond measure. A love companion who will care for, protect, cherish, and watch over you always. Your feelings, your heart, your soul is everything to this earth angel sent down from heaven to love you. So, you know, you might find that your past experiences were really nothing to write home about, you know. Maybe you had a lot of hope at one point in time with certain connections, but it just didn't pan out. And so I really feel the universe has your back as far as what it is that you have the capability to attract your way. People who would be very compatible for you. Okay, so let me set these guys aside and clarify with tarot. And we all experience ups and downs in our romantic life or just life in general. So this really is giving you a glimpse as to who it is that you need to remove from your life and who it is that would actually benefit you. Oh yeah, Divine Feminine coming in as the Queen of Swords. So I feel, my feminines, you did the work. You knew what was necessary to remove whatever people, individual needed to go. Look at the next card, the Tower. So this right here, these changes that are coming in, and it's coming through for a Divine Feminine, it was necessary, you know, because the foundation just was not very strong. And that might have had something to do with their level of commitment, or perhaps they weren't committed at all. They had one foot out the door, whatever the case might have been. But this right here is the separation. We clearly see from the first batch of cards that they're struggling through that. But I feel, Divine Feminine, you know, you've really worked on yourself. You're a lot stronger than how you were before. And we do have the Star. I love that. So whatever it is that you're focusing on, what is in your heart, whatever it is that you're hoping to manifest in the 3D, you have the capability to make all of that happen now, because you are able to release the past baggage. And we have a masculine showing up as the Emperor. I love that. So maybe, Divine Feminine, you had to cut out some people or a particular someone that just was not on your level. And we do have an Emperor showing up as a masculine who really can be your perfect match, perhaps. Yep. And then we've got the Four of Wands. I love that. All right, so, you know, it reminds me of having to kiss a whole bunch of frogs in order to get to the prince, right? And I feel, for my feminines, this could be what you're about to experience if you haven't already. It looks beautiful. I feel this is the foundation that needed to be built so that it can actually withstand the test of time. The Tower was a foundation that was faulty. You know, it wasn't very strong, and so it crumbled. And so this is the lesson that you are taking with you in order to have the wisdom to rebuild your life and to be able to build a very strong connection and foundation with the right person. All right, guys, so that is what I have. If you are interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. I'll go ahead and link the decks down below as well. Thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.